Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is with tremendous respect that I make the following comments. First, Mr. Speaker, I respect this House, I respect the rules of this House, I respect the Constitution and the standing orders. Mr. Speaker, we have received your communication. Note that we were not aware of the machinations and the schemes that were happening. But Mr. Speaker, I am shocked by yourself. This morning, I came to your office with a Senate Majority Whip, and we served you with an order that was procured after an application where the Majority Whip was part of the application. In that application, Mr. Speaker, the court is very express, the tribunal is very express that, Mr. Speaker, it stayed any decision that was going to be made based on the purported coalition agreement between KANU and Jubilee. That is really weighty. Mr. Speaker, when the history of this House will be written and your time as the second Speaker under the new Constitution, that very decision is going to be very key. Number two, Mr. Speaker, I stand here knowing for sure that if you have 20 numbers and the court has ruled that 3 of them from KANU cannot participate in the elections, Mr. Speaker, meaning you would only remain with 18 members of Jubilee, 17 members of the Jubilee side, which together with PDR we form 35, meaning that the majority of the remaining members were against the decision. If you go further, Mr. Speaker, when you ruled on the case of Orengo replacing, Senator Orengo replacing Senator Wetangula, you made it clear about the form of the communication. The communication can only come, and the standing orders is expressed, standing order 19. It can only come from the whip if it is in the removal of majority leader, and the majority leader if it is coming from the removal of the whip, anticipating that there would be no situation where you remove both of them at the same time. Mr. Speaker, these are very important positions. It's not about my position. And if, Mr. Speaker, you have made your determination, you have been pushed to a corner to make that decision. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to say this.
Order, Senator.
Mr. Speaker.
What's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I am the one who is affected by this decision. So if my colleagues can give me that small moment of respect, because, Mr. Speaker, they will have the rest of the 2.5 years to celebrate this decision.
But also you should note what you say. When you say I was pushed to a corner.
If, Mr. Speaker, I am not saying you are pushed by anybody. I've just said if the evidence before you pushed you or whatever pushed you to a corner and you've made a decision, and a decision that is not reasoned, it is not giving the reasons, doesn't take us the names, it doesn't tell us what you do with the tribunal decision that came before you. You are saying you will give a reasoned now decision later. Allow me then to say this, Mr. Speaker. When I was a student leader at the university, one of the things I went through was a training on leadership. And I remember only one very important aspect of leadership, that the moment you take a position, whether it is the Speaker, the majority leader, or even as a senator, the moment you take that position, always prepare yourself for the day you leave that position. Mr. Speaker, I am not worried and I have no problem not being the majority leader. What was only being defended on this side was the fact that we must follow the rules. Be it as it may, Mr. Speaker, if finally you will disregard the law and make a decision that I'm not going to be the majority leader in this House, what I can only say is that I want to thank my colleagues who voted for me, supported me throughout, and who have continued having faith in me, even amidst a lot of intimidation from the executive. Number 2 is to thank my staff, about 6 or 7 staff of the office of the majority leader, who will quickly, Mr. Speaker, this afternoon, the only people that are in my mind at the moment, Mr. Speaker, is not me. It's my staff. And I know they have done tremendous job. They have loans. They have commitments to their families. This afternoon, they are going to lose their jobs by a stroke of a political conmanship, Mr. Speaker. So I feel for them. And, Mr. Speaker, I want to say this, that I want to thank them for their support. I will stand by them as a person, I have just started my political life. I have only been 8 years, actually 7 years in politics, Mr. Speaker. I believe this is just but the morning of our political careers. There will be a brighter future. I want to tell them that they should take heart. We will come back and come back big, Mr. Speaker, and they must be able to continue looking forward to that great future. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I wish during this time of coronavirus that our focus, Mr. Speaker, we were told not even 15 people should meet. Yet we are told that about 20 people met in State House to plot out to remove Murkomen. Mr. Speaker, if the only agenda for our party, Jubilee, has been wrangles from 2018 up to now, not focusing on delivery of services, if the greatest achievement of the President of Kenya is to demonstrate to the people of this country that I have removed my majority leader, I'm a big man. Mr. Speaker, the President is already a big man. I am just but a son of a squatter, born and brought up in Embobut. To be a subject of his discussion over and over again, I want to say, Mr. President, now therefore deliver for the people of Kenya. Murkomen is out of the way. If I was your stumbling block, deliver for the people of Kenya. Allow all the bills that, Mr. Speaker, has been signed unconstitutionally, and which, Mr. Speaker, this House went to court to challenge. Allow those bills to come to Senate. Mr. Speaker, I want to tell the President, stop lying to the Senate. You told us you will give us oversight fund. Bring the oversight fund to the Senate if Murkomen was the stumbling block. It is only, Mr. Speaker, if I was the only reason, Mr. Speaker, that Senate was not being protected.